dark in here. My phone.
No, it's not that dark.
Yeah, you live yet?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay.
We're live. Oh, I forgot a light. Don't forget a light. There we go.
Yeah, I got a light, laddie.
I don't know how many people are going to be showing up at 10:30 in the morning on a Friday.
How many coffees have you had today, good sir?
Oh, dude. So I had to go get blood work done.
Oh, fun. So you're lightheaded as hell right now.
It's my yearly kind of checkup, and they do all the blood work and all that fun stuff. I'm not lightheaded. I grabbed some McDonald's on the way home.
Nice. Get the blood sugar up.
But this is my first coffee of the day because you're not allowed to have coffee, right? Like
yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. So you were grinding this morning, buddy.
I'm sitting in there. So Quebec does it weird, right? Like Quebec, you can get all this stuff done for free in Quebec. So all the blood work and all the testing and all that stuff, it's free. Or you can go and you can pay $40 and get it done at a Walmart. But might as well go get it done free. It's the same wait time. They're better nurses at this thing, and like it's 1 in 1 out. You're in and out. Like I got like 5 vials of blood taken, and it took her like 15 seconds.
I know. Yeah, last time I went, and it's crazy. Some of these people, like the guy that I had, wasn't even a regular. He was in from some other market, and they just built this Dynacare place in Ontario. And again, it's all free, which is great. They do try to ding you like $1 a year or whatever to get. But I just every time I go to my doctor, I'm like, hey, can you print off my blood test results? He's like, yeah, sure. Here you go. And so I get them free anyway, so I don't really care. Nice. But they're stupid fast. Like, you'll be sitting there talking to them, and you'll look down, and they're just like one vial done, next vial, and it's like, oh my god, they're robots. Like,
yeah. Well, I went to Walmart the last time, and it took her like 10 minutes to find a vein, and that was painful. I'm like, no,
I wouldn't do that.
But yeah, so I'm sitting in the waiting room. Okay, so literally they do it like the DMV, where you get a number and they call you in, you go check in, then you. I'm sitting there. There's like probably about 30 seats around me that are completely empty. Nice. This woman comes in with her dad. And the woman looked like she's about 30. She comes in with her dad, looks around with her dad, makes eye contact with me, comes and sits down directly beside me. And there's seats everywhere. And I'm not the most like into sharing space. I don't like just sharing space with random people. And God damn it, she starts coughing.
Oh, no.
There's seats everywhere. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Anyways.
Again, it's like when you're doing like an early, 5 a.m. before work grocery run in a blizzard or something, and you go to the grocery store and there's nobody in the parking lot. You park somewhere, and the one other guy that happens to drive in just decides to park right beside you. Like you had the whole parking lot, dude.
SR375, only idiots like him showing up on a Friday morning. Dude, are you... by the way, SR375, also Dr. Og in the Discord. I just put that together last week. I think it was last week or the week before. Are you working, buddy? Let me know. We got Tej Sessions. Hey, guys. If I were to buy one mic this Black Friday for an untreated space, which do you think is a no-brainer? So, Tej, you have SM7B or Lawton LS208. If you were willing to spend that much money on a microphone, but not like you would do better with spending $150 on an NT1 from Rode and buying treatment for your walls than you would be with buying either one of those mics in an untreated space. Like hands down.
Yeah,
you are better off.
Microphone, and we've talked about this a couple of times on the stream. An untreated space is not like there's no replacement to getting treatment. Basically, like you can get microphones that will help you a little more in an untreated space, but generally, if you don't have a treated space, don't look to spend it. Like you could spend 10 grand on a microphone and it won't really help you. You'd be better off, as Aiden said, spending couple $100 on an NT1 or an NT2A or something and getting some treatment, which doesn't have to be that expensive. There's cheap ways of going about it.
Now, if you are, I've got a video. Actually, I'm putting out a video how to choose the perfect microphone, because how to choose the perfect interface went well. So I'm like, well, why not? If you had to, like, if you're just stubborn and you want to buy one of those two, You're going to save money on the SM7DB, so go with that one. The Lawton LS208 is much more expensive. I like the Lawton Audio LS208 better. And if you just want to throw money into a pit of fire, sure, go with the Lawton LS208. I will tell you, you were never going to be satisfied with your audio because you don't have treated walls. So
yeah, you're already going to be spending so much time, having a headache trying to fix this stuff in post, that it's like, I'm working on some other projects right now, and I've sort of outlined requirements for people to work with me. I'm like, hey, in order for this to work out well, here's some things I need from you. I need you to be in a properly treated space on a proper microphone and connected to a proper interface, connected to a decent, like I need, like bare minimum to kind of, because I don't feel like correcting headaches, because there's a budget issue back up the stream.
Yeah, and that's the kind of stuff that's just like, just fix your stuff, man. Especially if you want to do this professionally, and that's the thing, right? Like, do you show up to a construction site without steel toe boots? Do you show up without hammers, without all the tools you'd need to do the job? No. Then you shouldn't show up to do anything with your voice without the proper equipment.
And factor in that if you're good at what you're doing, you can make back, like a website for 2 years costs like $300. One VO read can pay for that, basically. And so, if you're spending like $1,000 or more on treatment, which like a proper treatment package, for a whole room could set you back like $2,000. But if you're voicing stuff and you're not selling yourself short, you should be able to make that back fairly quickly.
Let me see here. I'm going to try to start with.
But again, definitely price is not a barrier here. There are cheap ways with a couple $100 budget to get a buy with doing some treatment. I get a couple $100 right now. It's hard to scrounge up for a lot of people, but save, work towards it. Like,
and one of the things I wanted to bring up before we continue on here, since he did actually ask a question about what he should be doing. Go to Shure.com, and I believe Shure has a Black Friday sale on the Shure SM7DB. You can probably, actually I can share this screen now. Now I can. There we go. Up to 25%. That's a pretty sweet deal right there. And I believe that involves the SR or the SM7DB. So their website I find is kind of annoying. I don't know, man.
What, Shure?
Yeah, I find it kind of from $449. So $50 off. That's actually a really good price. That's only $50 more than the original SM7B.
Man, I gotta say,
that's worth it.
I'm looking at some Sweetwater deals here. We're diving right in.
Sweetwater, nice.
The MBox Studio, which is a Avid interface, really good integration with Pro Tools for those that don't know. They're obviously desperate to get rid of those because it's $400 off. It's basically 50% off, almost.
Oh wow,
it's $499
in Canada.
I don't know. That would be what, $550 Canadian maybe.
There's still $1,199.
Yeah, so Sweetwater's got a deal.
Damn.
$499 US for MBox Studio right now. So you're
welcome to share your screen, by the way.
I got too much going on my screen right now.
Well,
it's a mess. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got like 15 tabs open because I'm multitasking like crazy today.
All right, so let's hit a couple of these. We got SR375 working monitoring our Black Friday event. Nice. Well, I'm glad you can join us while you're doing that. Let's switch cameras here.
Here we go. Let me do.
We got Joe Audio. What do you guys think about the MKE 600? I've never actually used it.
That's the baby one, right? The tinier shotgun. Yeah.
Everything I've heard has been good, and I've heard from some industry professionals that it's fantastic.
You know what I want? You know what? At some point, if I'm rolling in the Benjamins that I'm investing in, is the MKH 418, the stereo shotgun. It's a stereo shotgun mic. It's not actually. It's a kind of a mid-side pairing with like a shotgun capsule, and then it's got like kind of a figure 8 on the side of it. But combined together, you get a stereo shotgun mic, and I really want to mess with that and see what it does.
Yeah, it's a mid-side stereo shotgun. That That's only $1,800.
I know, you know, it's basically, yeah, it's a stereo MKH 416 essentially. If you could imagine such a thing.
The MKE 600, I've heard nothing but good stuff about it. I'll just watch your reviews. I've never been let down by a Sennheiser product, so yeah. DJ Play Nice in a house. Good morning. Good morning. Amazon US has a Rodecaster Duo in white for $100 off right now. That's $20 off. I bought one yesterday. Nice. I'm going to be posting some links as well, guys. So I'm going to be posting them in the chat for this video, not in the live chat, but in the actual, like, the comments. So let's go to Amazon.com. Let's bring this up on the... This is really hard without having a second... It's really hard without having a second monitor.
I know. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep the stream on and then get these sites going, but... Amazon.com.
Yeah, I know. We're totally set up here, eh? Lots of money. So let's look up Rode. Money just piling in.
Hey, maybe that's what we'll look at. We'll look at you know, what do monitors go for? Let's use this to springboard into some Black Friday schnizzle.
I've got lots of money to spend this year. I've got plenty of money.
I'm not concerned. I've got money to spend, probably not as much as I had before a few weeks ago, for obvious reasons.
Womp, womp, womp.
Womp, womp, womp.
All right, so let's see this whole screen. Let's just pull this in a little bit, because there you go. Make that small. Yeah. There you go. So Rode Wireless Go 2, not on sale. Rodecaster Duo all-in-one, $499. Still not on sale. Wait, am I getting, like, because I'm not in Canada? Dismissed.
Yeah, you're getting throttled.
Amazon and Shop Epic Black Friday deals. Black Friday. All the things I've purchased before. Sennheiser. Do you want Sennheiser? You've bought a lot of Sennheiser. I don't know, man. This sucks, man. Rodecaster Pro.
Again, the only deal so far that I've seen that's like, there's like, okay, $100 off here, $150 off there on like $1,000 product. But other than that, yeah, let me drop into Studio Économique in Canada.
Yeah, this is wild. I wonder if they're just giving me the short end of the stick because I'm in Canada, and they're like, you don't need any deals.
Yeah, that's it, right? Like, for those that, you know, are maybe not familiar with it, Black Friday's never been as big a thing in Canada as it is in the States. I think America is obviously the world capital of Black Friday deals.
Oh, well, I mean, it's gotten better here in Canada. But it's never been, it's never going to be as, like, door crasher style.
No.
I would say Boxing Day is bigger in Canada. And Boxing Day is actually one of my favorites. This is really disappointing. There's really not much here on Amazon.
No, yeah, I checked on Amazon. They had, a couple lightning deals that were like, $4.85 off this. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, see, I'm showing the white Rodecaster Pro 2, unless he was saying Duo. Rodecaster Duo. Okay, so I'm dumb. That's my fault.
That almost became a really good deal.
Duo white. What do we got? $399. That is $100 off. I am going to do that.
Yeah, see, like, I'm on Studio Économique. They've got like a pair of monitors that are, $7,300, and they're like, you can get $800 off. I'm like, okay, so that's like almost 10%. What?
Yeah.
It's a little over 10% screw off.
Oh no, where do I want to go here? Got to get all these things opened up.
Plus, I'm sorry, if I'm spending $8,000 on a set of speakers, I'm not going to hear them before I'm buying them. Right? I'm not buying those through the internet.
Sorry if that kind of leaked through.
Yeah, a little echo there.
Yeah, no, I opened up the actual stream, so I can't actually post any of the comments on here. You can't put comments on a live video. What the hell is this kind of stuff, man?
Weird. I got a weird notification too. It's like your browser has blocked the screen, refresh and try again or something. And I'm like, well, no, we're not in the middle of the stream. I'm not going to do that. Weird stuff.
Okay, so we're falling behind. Last week, WAN show was very early. This week, we're turning the tables on Linus. Yeah, we're taking Linus down, man.
Totally, yeah, taking him down.
Us and our 12 viewers, we're taking that boy down, man.
Burning the kingdom to the ground. Totally.
Too high on his horse. 2 thumbs with 10 in the chat. Come on, chat, fix that. Yeah, thanks. Give me a thumbs up for that. Tej, okay, thanks for the honest suggestion. Would an SM7DB plus an Aston Halo help if I have no time to de-reverb my room? It doesn't have a ton of reverb, actually, just a tiny bit. Those kinds of things like the Halo, I don't know about the Aston Halo. They do work. They're better suited for condensers. They're actually kind of intentionally made for condensers. But yes, they will work as long as the SM7DB fits inside of them. That's the big issue.
Honestly, even that thing, Aiden, I give you that Licks.
Yeah.
What was it or whatever it is? That big shield. It's like they're big and they're dumb and they're not as good as like actually treating your walls, but they will improve what you're working with. So if you get one of those, like obviously the mammoth of which is the Isovox that's behind me here. That's kind of your best case scenario, and that's going to set you back at like $2,000. But even there's some stuff on Amazon like the big mic shields. Again, you're not going to get perfect audio, but they will give you an improvement, at least to some degree, over what you're working with now.
Right.
Like a chaotic eyeball or something.
Monitors. List price. Yeah, so there's 34-inch Viewfinity from Samsung is 102, almost half price. Damn.
Jeez. Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, you got to hunt for them, but they're there.
Yeah, actually let's share the screen. There we go. God,
yeah, like I see this, like the Vanguard V44S, which is a stereo FET condenser. Regular price is $1,735, on sale for $1,625. I'm like, I mean, there's less money there, that's for sure. Is it enticing for me to pull the trigger? No, for $100.
So SR375 wants ultra wide monitors. See, I'm 32-inch is not an ultra wide, man. Sorry. 34-inch Odyssey. 629.
I mean, it's an
insanely priced.
It's an ultra wide if it's 10 inches tall.
Their 34-inch Odyssey G8 SS S5SB OLED Ultra 35 or 34-inch ultra wide is half price.
My little joystick on my Samsung monitor. I'm actually very disappointed in this because this monitor cost me a decent amount. Has failed, and so I'll probably be in the market for an ultra wide that I'll find some way to finagle into my setup.
See, I've been ultra wide. I had the little 32-inch ultra wide that I still use as like a, it's kind of like a script screen.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you've got it like kind of portrait orientation.
I used to. Now it's kind of up the same, like the old way, because it's getting in the way of my monitors. Oh. There's no way when you have a 43-inch monitor, it's hard to have a second screen. Let's just put it that way.
No, well, and I think too, like speaker placement also becomes, we're in the audio business, right? So speakers, like sound being able to get from speakers to your ears is more important than screen real estate, in my humble opinion.
No, 100%. Like
if your bread and butter, if your bread and butter is video stuff, it's a different story. Then yeah, absolutely prioritize a display. But if you're an audio producer, you should your sound comes first, video comes second.
Yep. Yeah, and you know what I mean? I can put the screen over top, and I can put screens all the way around me if I wanted to. I can even put a screen underneath the 43-inch, but I'm just going to get used to having a 43-inch.
Having like display, speaker, display, speaker, display, like kind of having a 3 display like that. But then, I'm kind of looking at reflections because I've got monitors like here. Sound's going to be
well, that's where it gets tough, right?
Yeah.
Like I have two 43-inch speakers 43-inch monitors in the room.
And you got them like stacked on top of each other, don't you?
No, I've got one right here beside me. It's actually here. You can kind of see it right there. That's a 43-inch on the desk there.
Yeah.
And then behind on my main rig, I've got a 43-inch and a 34-inch ultra wide. I think I'm at screen max before I start to have like ridiculous reflections in this room. So this Samsung 34-inch Odyssey here, I'll post it up.
Nice.
Get link. This thing is a fantastic 48% off.
And I was gonna say that's only like 200 more than I spent for the little 4K regular 4K monitor that I have here, and so that's a really good price.
I would love the ultra wides, the 49-inch ultra wide from Samsung.
Oh my God. Gonna need a hell of a VESA arm to put that sucker on. Jesus.
Well, that's the thing. There's a couple issues that come with that. One is like, yes, it needs a VESA arm, or you have to have enough room to put it down on your desk.
That's it. Like, I don't talk about it a lot, but having having a monitor on a proper arm instead of on just like a stand sitting on a desk is night and day. I love, being able to just very easily kind of move the monitor around wherever, but there are limitations to that, sadly.
Joe says, I'm currently trying to upgrade my SM57, especially since I treated my space for a hefty amount.
Nice.
I don't know if you have to upgrade your SM57 or you can add to it. When you see an SM57, that's not a microphone that you get rid of ever. That's if you are recording, if you're doing audio, basically any kind of music, that SM57 is a gold mine. But adding to it a condenser with polar patterns would be a great step up for the SM57.
I would say anybody doing voice stuff, the two tools that you should have, the two paintbrushes in your toolbox should be a dynamic and a condenser. Your 57, you're covered for a dynamic. You got to be careful with it, shock, absorption and stuff like that. But, you can get really good results out of a 57. There's a reason why it's the Swiss Army knife. And then as far as a condenser, I would maybe that's where I would put my money if I were you.
Yeah. And you can go, Joe, and grab the, let's actually look on Amazon. The
get like a TLM 103 or something, would be good.
Or even if you just wanted something cheap, man. Literally, you can go get a AKG P420.
Yeah, the Perception lineup is great. Good quality control on it from what I've experienced, and the mics sound good. So yeah, if you're really wanting to make a mark, then I would go closer to like 1,000. But if you just want to have that extra tool in your toolbox, you don't have a massive budget, then even like a Rode NT2A or something. Like if you really want to go kind of mid-level.
What is this? Is this the P420?
Geez, for that price, what is that? The 420 or the?
It's really it's a 420. $169 for the AKG.
Dude, honestly, just do that.
Here, I'm gonna link this. Go check it out, Joe.
That's a really good price. I've paid more for headphones.
This is your this is like a great one to have in your mic locker.
Yeah. Yeah, no, at that price, and that's not even on sale, is it?
No, it's not even on sale.
No, Jesus. Yeah, no, you'll get good results with that. You're not obviously going to spend an arm and a leg.
I have an LG 49-inch ultrawide with Ergotron monitor mount HX series. Nice. Yeah, I was looking at the LG 49-inch ultrawide for this setup, my Mac, but I've gotten so spoiled by the 43-inch. I like the north-south real estate, especially when doing video, because Final Cut Pro, I don't know how to move the windows around, so I don't even know how to have preview on a separate monitor and stuff like that. So I'm just screw it. I just went with a 43-inch. Rick on Mike wants to know, what are your thoughts on using in-ear monitors for home studio use? What price would you say it's better to go with headphones?
There's no reason why you couldn't use in-ears. In fact, from a bleed standpoint, you'll probably get better results. You're
knocking off some frequencies, man.
What?
You're knocking off some frequencies with in-ear monitors. That's the problem.
It depends. If you get like one of the crazy like 18 driver, ones that professional drummers use and stuff. At that point, I would say if you're going to spend that kind of money, like near $500 to $1,000 on a pair of in-ears, you'd be better off getting a pair of headphones. And again, in-ear monitors, they've done studies on this. In-ears are not great for your hearing. In terms of just injecting sound directly at your eardrum as opposed to kind of around your ear. There hasn't been a strong correlation, but there's definitely you can damage your hearing way more easily with in-ear monitors than you can.
Yeah,
with,
you
like,
crank that up, especially the higher frequencies.
yeah, well, yeah, and so they found that from an audiology standpoint, that yeah, people, especially when earbuds were like the norm, and still for a lot of people are, is yeah, a lot of hearing degradation, especially in the high frequency stuff.
Got a request to see what the TLM 103 price is.
Yeah,
TLM 102, sorry.
102.
TLM 102. There we go. The TLM 102
Whoa!
Oh wow, that's
Yeah, I was not expecting that. Jeez.
The studio set's $799, typically $849.
Has it always been at that price? I thought all of the TLMs were basically over $1,000.
This is American, dude.
Oh yeah, but still, that's not like $1,300 is what comes to mind.
Yeah, this is a good price if you don't need the shock mount. If you require the shock mount,
I would get the shock mount. Don't.
I would agree with Dylan.
Yeah,
the shock mount is awesome.
You're dealing with a large diaphragm condenser. You need something to help you manage those seismic bumps.
So I'll post that. By the way, guys, the links I'm posting in chat, they go to help support the channel, all the fun stuff. If you want to click on them, you can. If you don't, you don't. They are obviously affiliate links. No hard feelings if you're like, ew, affiliate links, gross. I don't really care. It's not that big of a deal, but it does. This is kind of one of the few ways that this channel is able to do what it does, is through affiliates. It's amazing how quickly you forget how, like, that passive income is so important to being a content creator, and without it, it's so, like, it's hard to hustle month to month. The passive income allows you to kind of expect what's coming in, which is kind of nice. So, well, if you want to click on them,
it's good to emphasize that obviously using the affiliate link doesn't cost you any extra money. No. It just means that Aiden gets a little bounce back for, sitting here and going through some of these options for us.
It's one of the easiest ways if you've ever wanted to support Dark Corner Studios without becoming a member. This is one of the easiest ways. My buddy who runs Minds of Madness, even him, he's like, what should I buy on Amazon? So I'll send him links, and it's like, yeah, because he would like to support the channel, and that's really cool. So, well,
especially if you're going to be buying stuff on Amazon anyway, like, why not?
Exactly. The one thing I did want to check out is Rode's website.
I was going to say you should check the 103 as well, just to see if it is also on some kind of a sale.
I did. It was a little bit off, but not really.
Not really.
Here, I'll double check that though. The TLM 103. 103. Yeah, it's $11.75. It's not on sale.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
That sounds about right.
I've always preferred the 103, so maybe that's just me. Let's check out Rode's site.
Let's see what Rode's doing.
I don't know. Usually they'll send me like just a reminder, hey, guess what's on sale? But nothing. I do know some Mackie stuff that's on sale. It's all about the Rodecaster video there. Let's go to just products. Okay, go home. Is that just the home? Okay, wireless micro, NT1. There's nothing on Rode's site about any about any sales. Ooh.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't even know in Australia, like Black Friday, if that's even a thing.
Last year they did like free headphones.
Okay.
I can check my.
Black Friday has kind of become an international thing to some degree. Like, everybody, I think, knows about Black Friday. Whether you get to celebrate it or not, it's a different story.
Yeah,
but it's topical.
Yeah, I forgot to reach out. I do know that Mackie has one though. Nice. Mackie has the. If you have ever wanted to get the DLZ Creator or the DLZ Creator XS, now is the time to do such a thing. It's 15% off of loudspeakers and mixers. That's their before Black Friday. I don't know what they're doing for their Black Friday. They've also got, their DLZ Creator is like really cheap. It is exceptionally cheap. Oh wow, they're gonna make you fish for the price on here. Come on. I think I know the Canadian price. It went down to $800 Canadian, which is it was almost $1,200. It was a really good deal. Of course, they're just going to block me there. Products, mixers, DLZ. Oh, come on. You don't have any price. Okay, so we're going to Sweetwater.
Schmidvater.
They should have the DLZ DLZ creator. Come on. Yeah, $649, $150 off for the creator. And my pick, the one that I would recommend for basically anyone, is the Mackie DLZ Creator XS. This is still my main driver on my desk. It is phenomenal for basically everything. Like it sits on my main desk. I do podcast editing through it. This is kind of my main all-in-one for Zoom. I don't do any real heavy production through it, but it's just a great control center for everything that's hooked up to it. I'm going to be doing a video on how to hook up a PS5 to it, because I just got an audio splitter from Amazon. So you can get a splitter for HDMI audio out.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to use that to hook my audio through the DLZ Creator XS, which is going to be kind of cool. Rock on, accept cookies. This is a great buy. They even got open box for $339.
Oh, nice.
I don't know why you wouldn't buy this. It's such a great little mixer. All right. We are way behind. Are we not? Oh, yeah. No, not way behind. Guys, support my local studio. Amen to that. I appreciate that. Rhodes sent me an email. You have to, but they're items at full price from an authorized reseller, and register that product by January 15th to get 20% on your next purchase. Yeah. I mean, I like the headphone. The headphone deal was better. No offense to Rhodes. I like the idea that they were mixing. I will say, I mentioned this on last week's stream. You can kind of tell when things are reaching its natural cycle end and they're about to upgrade, is they start to go on sale for these large events. The Black Friday's original ideology was to clear out old stock.
Yeah, exactly. Get rid of old shit.
Yeah.
And make room for useful.
And they would always it's for Christmas savings. No, it's so they can get rid of the old models. So by the time it really hits, they can basically usher in all the new stuff. So whenever you see stuff go on a heavily discounted price at Black Friday, in the electronics, audio sphere, especially phones, computers, all that stuff, it usually means there's a new model about to appear. So,
well, again, I think a good example, I'm going to make a prediction here. I think, looking at Avid's price point there, almost 50% off their Mbox Studio, I think we're going to see possibly another variant of that coming out in the new year, maybe Q1, Q2.
Do you think they're going to just kind of bury it and not do it again?
I don't know. I mean, I need to see some sales figures because it's a competitive product. I think it's me and some other people in the know where we're kind of looking over, going, this is a nice piece, and people seem to say good things about the quality. Obviously, it's integration with Pro Tools. But again, I don't know how much of a driver it's been for them. There's been a few things that I've seen them do where I'm like, okay, I think they're trying to push more sales of this for some reason. And so I don't know. I mean, Avid will never get out of the hardware space, I don't think. It's just so ingrained into their business model, the development of hardware, not always the best hardware, but definitely expensive hardware. So we'll see, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see some new product in the Mbox series in the new year.
See, I'm also I'm starting to work with Sennheiser, and I love it. I love dealing with them because I've been trying to get my hands on the Neumann MT48, I think it is. And I'm willing to pay. It's not I'm oh God, give it to me for free, because I'm not that much of an idiot. but it's still like that's one of those things I want to review it, but also like I tried to get one of the Avid M-Box studios last year at NAB, and it came so close. So I think probably the best bet is maybe try for the MT48, because I do need something like that for production. I could use, like, my AudioFuse studio is just not up to par anymore.
I would still love to. I don't know who would have to reach out to this, but like the MT48 is basically a repackaged Anubis by
Really, yeah.
Merging Tech. Yeah, another company that's owned by Sennheiser called Merging Tech. They're a European company, Swedish, I think, or something. They have a product called the Anubis, and if you look up the Anubis and you compare it, like visually, one's black, one's silver, or like, you know, chrome or whatever, that's about it. And there's a few IO differences, but they're basically the same engine, mostly the same graphical interface on them. And so I would love to get each one of those.
But it's more expensive.
It is. The Anubis is more expensive, and specs wise, it's not that different than the MT48. I think the noise floor is a little bit less, maybe. I did a kind of a blind comparison between them, and it was like, I'm like, really? But it would be interesting to compare them. Like, I know one supports Dante, the other one supports like optical and stuff. It's interesting, the little differences.
For anyone who wants to see this is the Canadian site, so don't trust the numbers. But
yeah, but even like look at the knob.
18.8% off.
Look at the knob. Like, could you get a picture of the MT48 up there too, so we could, like, it's the same thing.
Even you'll have to drink this in. I'm only sharing one at a time here, so I'll go MT48.
Yeah, like the big knob, the way the buttons are laid out, it's almost identical. Even like the
MT48 looks a lot sleeker. I've been using
it's that Neumann metal, right? That's that Neumann kind of silvery goldish metal. It gives it this pristine look.
If if that look ever goes out of style, oh wow, that completely didn't even share the screen I was going to. That is weird. Oh, because it opened it in a new window.
But I know, and some people have done comparisons because it is known kind of widely that these are basically the same product. One is just repurposed, which makes sense. Neumann is not an interface company, so obviously, if they're making an interface, they're going to be teaming up with a company like Merging that already does that.
Yeah, 2,400 and that's not even on sale for the MT48.
Yeah, just regular. It's expensive. I would say if you're, and I was actually going to pull the trigger on this as an updated solution, but if you have a lot of equipment that you need to connect, you have a lot of IO you got to deal with, that's not going to cut it easily. It's got Dante, so it's expandable, but it's it's not great. So I ended up going with a more traditional solution for IO. But if you just need a one size fits all, this thing sounds awesome, especially obviously on Neumann mics.
I'm trying to figure out what the USB-C protocol it has. I've never looked into that.
I'm pretty sure it's USB 2.0.
Yeah, well, and that's where I'm like, I'm probably just going to go for a Thunderbolt, because 2.0 is fine, but this is why it's not very expandable, right? Because you just
I also, in my case, a big factor too is Windows support, right? The amount of audio companies that actively support the Windows operating system is a really small list. And so I'm always nervous getting in with a company like Neumann that is just going to be, Mac world, and I'm going to install the Windows driver, and they're going to have spent 10 minutes testing it.
Yeah. Marine X, by the way, you're totally right. I do everyday carry videos, and I can tell when companies are about to update flashlights or knives or power stations. Yeah, it's become pretty transparent over the past, I would say, 5 years, where the bigger companies, as they're getting more involved with like large wholesale sales, are really starting to follow a very obvious trend. That's why I pointed out that Mackie might be headed towards a refresh, or something's happening on Mackie's end. I don't know. I do have my finger on the pulse of some new stuff coming out, but I don't know about Mackie. And nor would I ever bring it up if I did. But yeah, that's something where I'm like, I think for the whatchamacallit show in January, the NAMM, that's what it is, the NAMM show in January, I think we might be seeing something from, they did it last year when they released everything, so because that's when they released the XS and all that big treasure trove of stuff. So maybe there's something coming at NAMM. I'd be kind of curious to see. What were you going to say, Dylan?
No, I was just gonna say you said it in relation to Black Friday, but I think looking at kind of what sales are for in general, like sales were to clear shelves out of stores so they could get new stuff in. Like clearance sale is pretty much one of the earliest examples of that. So I think, yeah, whenever there's a big sale, if there's two possibilities: either something is very wrong with the product and they need to get rid of it, or there's something new and better coming and we need to make some space for it. And so, yeah, there's always a reason behind a sale. It obviously, they are still huge revenue drivers, but I always read into, especially when, again, something's marked down like 50% or more. I'm like, okay, what's going on?
So this is one Dylan loves, FabFilter. I think this is kind of a shitty sale. It's only 25%
Their
off.
sales are not normally good. They won't undercut themselves. And again, this is the flip side of what we were just talking about, right? Is if you see a sale that's not very good, well, that they're just trying to drive revenue. There's nothing really common. FabFilter is always releasing versions.
You got yours at 50% off, though.
I don't know if I did. It may have been 25 or 40, or it was years ago now, so I don't actually remember. But I remember it was less. I did do it on Black Friday, but yeah, I don't know that 25% is the best that I've seen.
Also trying to find. Oh, there they are. They're plugin bundles. Total, FX, view all, FabFilter plugin bundles. This is the one that I was thinking about buying. I was going to buy the Pro bundle because that's the one you have, right? You have the Pro bundle.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't pay attention to one. I have the plugins that I have. Let me see.
It has the EQ, reverb,
no, I have
limiter.
I have something past that because there's a few that I have there, like their delay that I have there that's not in there.
You probably have the mastering bundle. That's
maybe try mixing. Maybe let's go down. Let me see.
Those three.
No, that's more.
7 things.
Yeah, Saturn.
Okay, FX bundle.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's okay. Yeah, that's got Volcano and all that.
Yes, I think that's the one.
Okay, and that one's going for $644 American, so almost $1,000.
Now you will get ROI on those plugins. I will, if you're an audio sculptor.
I'm thinking for the channel here, like if we go in and we start doing some of those challenges that we're doing. Stuff like I wonder if the Pro bundle, if I could get away with that. It's got the
you got your de-esser, your gate, your multiband. Let's see.
Yeah, but I was thinking about some of that sculpting shit like you've got, like the
Volcano is awesome.
Tape delay.
Yeah, Timeless is sick. I love Saturn is awesome for like getting some grit. Saturn is great.
But then I could always just go in and buy this stuff individually later on.
Yeah. Well, that's it. And you can. I do believe they have kind of loyalty things. So if you want to get a smaller package and then kind of update it and get add some stuff to it, you can do that, I think.
Okay, so Adobe Creative Cloud, guys, 50% off Creative Cloud for Black Friday. It is worth it. If you have been on the tree, if you have been kind of on the fence about buying this. This isn't a great way to jump in if you need more than one thing. I think Creative Cloud, it's not, you can always get individual ones for cheap. If I recall,
I think it was like $25 a month or something.
No, they're cheaper than that.
They're going down because that's originally that, and that was bullshit. I said, you want expect me to spend $30 Canadian for one program a year? You're dreaming.
Well, that's what I pay for Adobe Audition, and it's worth it, man. Yeah, Premiere Pro is $30 a month Canadian.
Well, again, it's worth it if you make money off it. If you don't do anything with Adobe that involves making money, it's obviously not worth it.
Well, that's the thing, right? But I mean,
yeah, like make sure if you're buying, because you're not buying this, you're renting it, and so if you're renting something, it's an operational expense, so you need to be making money off of it somehow.
Yeah, but I will also contest that if you're running a podcast and you already are putting $20 a month into hosting, this is a one of those things like for Adobe Audition for $20 a month. I'm sorry, you're already spending a bunch of money on other little things that don't have as much impact as an editing suite that basically has everything for you. and is kind of universal in that way.
Yeah, but again, like podcasts make money though, so that satisfies the you need to be
But
making
even if you're
money.
not making money, you're still spending the money on your hosting. It's just, I think there's an argument to be had. Not if you're completely broke. Like, I'm not saying if you're broke, this is something that's going to change your life and you'll start making you money. But if you actually have money to put into your podcast and you're like, where should I put it? Uh, Adobe is a decent option. If you're doing video editing, if you're doing that kind of stuff, I would say try to lean Mac because you'd save a lot of money in the long run by going Mac. It'll take you about a year to pay it back if you're continually doing video. Oh, we
Well,
are
and again,
way.
Mac is one of like
Oh
I
no.
kind of look at Macs like Macs don't last. They're not built to last. I think if you're buying a Mac, you better be making money with that machine because you might get 5 or 6 years out of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Laptops nowadays, though, I mean, even the $3,000 ones, they're only still about 4 or 5 years. Laptops themselves, they're
I,
you put them
I,
in your
I,
bag every day.
I think if you take care of this stuff, you can get like, if you respect your technology, it will give it back to you in time.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
when I build a desktop, I usually get a decade out of it. And when I decommission it, it's not slow. It's just not as fast as I could do something new. So, but all these things, Adobe, like if you want to buy it, that's fine. But keep in mind that these subscriptions, they add up, obviously. And if you're,
Yeah,
spending $20 a month for this, $80 a month for that, that's a lot of
it
money.
does add up. It 100%. If you're planning on going full in, if you're just like, there's a good one by Nuno or by Rick I want to get to, but first Nuno says my girlfriend took the 1 year photography plan for half price. Yeah, photography, it's hard to beat. I use
No.
Affinity Photo too.
Yeah, I do as well. We were both on the Affinity train just because, again, I don't make money doing photography,
Yeah.
so spending a subscription. Although I think, yeah, if you're a professional photographer, Adobe that's Lightroom and
also
Photoshop.
the AI in Adobe Photoshop. I won't
Well, yeah,
say AI and anything else.
I gotta say that's the one thing I've noticed about Affinity. I like Affinity for most things, but the healing tool is
It's
terrible.
garbage. Yeah.
It is terrible because there's no machine learning or AI component to it. There's no
Well,
content.
even the masking. This is so fucking frustrating. You're masking along a black object on a white background, and you get too close to the edge, it selects a bunch of the white background. Come on.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You don't have to be smart to realize that I'm masking the black thing on the white background.
No,
dumbass.
yeah. Most things, even without
Ugh.
machine learning, you should be able to do like contrast detect, pick up that
Right?
edge. But yeah, no.
Rick has a great quote here. Time is money. Adobe Audition saved me so much time compared to Audacity. And that's where
God,
like,
absolutely. And
Yeah.
again, if your time is in fact money, like if this isn't just a hobby for you, if it's a hobby and you've got the cash flow to support it, all the more
Yep.
power to you. But if this makes money, then yeah, things like Adobe, like I am all about spending things that are going to save me money. Like, a good example is I'm building a new website for another project and I'm using Wix. Wix, is it the cheapest? No, it's not the cheapest. I got a good rate, but it also, just building a website that is comprehensive with Wix is very easy to do in a short amount of time. And
Yeah.
I'm willing to pay for that.
I did Squarespace, but Squarespace is expensive.
Yeah,
I think
those
it cost
kinda
me
tiers.
$400 a year all in. It's impressively impressive amount of
That's
money.
crazy. I think I did 300 for 3 years.
Yeah, but you can do on the spot sales and stuff like that through Squarespace, no problem. Like it's built in everything, right?
Yeah.
And that's something I want to do at some point.
Having e-commerce is huge.
Yeah.
I use Wix because they've got a membership section, so obviously I can set up portals for users and stuff. Like there's a lot of neat shit like that. And again, you don't get that when you go with WordPress.
No, you don't.
You'll get a really cheap site for But again, if it's something that's going to make money, do stuff that will save you time and headache. Because when you're a business owner, you got to wear 800 hats as it is.
Well, this is why I still have Adobe Audition. I'm over at Avid. This is a big one. This is the one I'm actually going to be buying today.
I screenshotted that and sent it to you.
33% off of basically Pro Tools. That's
And Sibelius, by the looks of it.
What is Sibelius?
It's a score editing software.
Oh, cool. So like I've been kind of like juggling whether or not I should just go Pro Tools Artist. I don't think I'm gonna need, but then you were saying there might be some things holding back.
I'm gonna have to do some research. Once we get off this, I'm gonna do a quick query and just get you an affirmative.
Okay.
If
Well, it says
Studio.
one video track. I rarely use video tracks.
Well, and again, you're not the purpose of that one video track is to synchronize audio. That's the only like you can't edit that video track.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I sync through other programs, so I don't even need that.
Yeah.
Are the instruments and effects worthwhile?
Yeah, the stock instruments are okay. I use different ones, obviously, but
Yeah.
they're Expand is a good sampler for the most part. It gets you a little bit of everything that you need in reasonable quality. The Vacuum, which is their synthesizer, it's okay. I wish it did a few more things, but as a quick lead, monophonic synth, it works well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the instruments are okay. I would say of all the DAWs, I don't know Logic's stock stuff. I can't speak to it, but I know Adobe's stock stuff, and I hate all of it.
Logic's isn't much better. Like Logic has good plugins for DI. Like you've got some great guitar stuff through there. Even like their drums aren't bad. Like they're not going to be a professional model for you, but they're great for laying down a track that you just need a little bit of drums behind, like doing something for YouTube and shit.
Yeah, but I do think that as far as like plugins that you can get a lot done just out of the box, Pro Tools and their Air plugins and their kind of built-in EQs and stuff, that all that stuff is pretty well made. Are they the best plugins? They don't hold a candle to FabFilter stuff in terms of user experience or sound, but they'll do better than the hard limiter in Adobe. So I'll leave it.
Yeah. This is funny too because I'm on a screen, so it keeps opening stuff up on a second. That's so annoying. So basically, it's $199 for a year. I open this up and it opens it up into a different tab. That's the frustrating thing. But yeah, it's $199 for a year for the Pro version, which is probably what I'm going to end up getting. I mean, it's going to cost me like $300, but I'm okay with that. That's going to be worth it for me to get back into Pro. It's been probably 15 years. No, it's been more than that. I've been with Lisa 16 years. So it's been like 18 years since I've done anything in Pro Tools. Like, and even then I wasn't like a hardcore user. I was just like, I knew what I was doing, but I wasn't like, I didn't have like hotkeys set up and I wasn't like flowing through shit like a maniac like I do now with Adobe. So, or even with, what's the Studio One?
Yeah.
Which actually I should check that. Studio One. Studio One is one of my favorites, that if you guys are looking for something that's super simple, man, screw off with the $199 for new users. You own it. Studio One Pro 7. $199 bucks.
Honestly, and this is like I always tell people, like, stick with like, I don't know, Audacity or something. If you don't have a crazy big budget and you need to upgrade from Audacity to something that, and again, you don't have the monthly spend to throw $30 or $20 at Adobe, Reaper. Check to see if Reaper, Cucko's Reaper has any sales. It's already pretty cheap. I think like the main personal version of Reaper is like $60. And it's a full featured DAW.
Their website is
I know their website is
it's still $60. The commercial license is only $225.
No, and honestly, there's not really much of a difference between that, other than like technically what you're licensed to be able to use it for.
Yeah, so, you don't want to get caught for that though, right?
No, you don't. I would say if you're going to use this to make money, but get the Pro version. But $60 for like a full-fledged DAW, you're hard pressed to get a better deal than that.
Should I start working with Reaper? Everybody sings the praises of it. I find it clunky.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's if like you already pay for Adobe, so I generally wouldn't bother. I think Reaper has a niche, and the niche is for either people that are used to Pro Tools and want to jump ship to something that's a good backup. I say Reaper is always a good backup DAW because again, it's very low maintenance, it's lightweight. It's customizable. So if
It's
you
got
haven't,
one of its hardest learning curves out of all the DAWs.
well, and I think part of that is because it's so customizable, right? I run
Yeah.
into the same issue with like Nuendo, and its customization where I'm like, where is everything? I don't know where anything is. Fun fact, it's made by the same people that made Winamp back in the day. For those that remember Winamp,
That's
the
awesome.
that's the brain behind these guys. But no, good product. I know Glenn Fricker over Spectre Media Group, SMG, swears by this. This is his daily driver, this
Yeah.
DAW. And he's a record producer. So
Oh yeah, like this thing's fully fledged. Like you can do everything with Reaper.
yeah.
I don't. To me, I'm a speed over functionality. Like I like working quickly through stuff, like editing a podcast.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, you should try doing it Reaper. I'm like, dude, the flow I have on Adobe Audition, I don't know if I can replicate that in Reaper. I should
No,
try.
and Adobe is already kind of paying for itself in your case. So I would just, in your
Yeah.
specific scenario, I would stick with that. But again,
Yeah,
for somebody that's maybe getting started, wants a serious DAW but is on a really tight budget, I think Reaper, it fits that niche
yeah.
because it's not,
like I
$600 like Pro
I
Tools.
get about 3,000 to 4,000 a month for doing my editing.
Yeah, and so obviously at that
$30
point,
a month for
yeah,
Adobe,
just
right?
go with Adobe. And that for that scenario, you're not really going to get a better option, or you're not going to get much improvement from another option other than just Adobe.
SR375, for the love of God, avoid WordPress for your website. Insecure by default. Yeah, I had a WordPress site, my old one, Aiden Wolf Photography, and it was great until somebody basically destroyed it, and everything was gone. And I had all of my photography on there.
Oh,
I
shame.
didn't back anything up, so whatever. I'm no longer a photographer. You gave me I've got the 60-pound license or 60 euro license. I was using it for some years in trial mode, and I felt bad for the good service it gave me. Yeah, I mean, poor as a content creator, right? Like if you have a way to get around stuff like that, get around it. I've never liked Audacity. I find Audacity to be counterintuitive to a proper workflow. And I've watched, because Tyler from Minds of Madness uses it, and watching him work with it is just, what do you do? Like, you have to actually go up and grab a setting to be able to gain up the audio.
No,
Yeah. That to me is just like the counterintuitive. So like, I mean, if you have to, sure, you have to, but $60 for Reaper, why are you using something that is so counterintuitive when you have something like Reaper? And I know it's because of the learning curve. Like, the reason I haven't gotten into Reaper is the learning curve.
I would argue the learning curve for Audacity is just as bad, if not worse.
Yeah, I would say so. Audacity is horrific.
I do have Audacity because it's one of the only tools that I can pretty reliably use to record foldback audio from my system's output, regardless what driver I'm using. But I fucking hate it.
Interesting.
I fucking hate it.
Because I do that with Adobe Audition, no problem. You just choose the output.
Well, it depends. See, some drivers don't do that. Some drivers do not support that natively. But for some reason, Audacity, I don't know why or how, but they do. You can also use tools like I have Voice Meter, whatever the big one is, not Banana, but the one bigger than the Potato, I think.
I've never played with Voice Meter stuff.
Voice Meter, honestly, it can be finicky, but my God, when you get it set up and working, can it ever help you route stuff around? Like, I used to have so many coworkers that would complain about, like, I'd be doing Pro Tools demos, and the problem with Pro Tools is it uses ASIO. So it completely bypasses Windows kind of sound picker upper. And so super technical terminology, but so Teams or any kind of like Zoom call or anything, it won't pick up any audio coming out of PT, coming out of Pro Tools. And so, but with Voice Meter Banana, I can route stuff into a video call from the DAW and listen to it at the same time, which is huge. So yeah, highly recommend Voice Meter Banana or Potato. Free, completely freeware, FYI. Way better than ASIO for All, in my humble opinion.
Wow. Contact. 50% off new complete 15 bundles and much more.
This is it. I haven't updated my complete bundle. I've got like the big Symphony limited edition one, and I've upgraded it a few times, but
how much is complete 15? Oh wow, that's So they're collectors.
Yeah, that's the
Edition
one that I
is
have.
$900.
Fuck. And I think
It's
normal that's like $2,500.
No, it's 2,000. Well, that might be American. That's probably American. Complete 15 Ultimate is $599.50.
See, I'm curious now. So if anybody out there has native instrument stuff, I do, and so when you log in, it will tell you what your kind of your loyalty discount cross grade is for it. So let me see here. I'm curious. Login. I remember my bloody login for these guys.
Is it worth it? Like Ultimate versus collectors? Is it worth it? Like there's
Yeah, you get more stuff. Okay, I honestly the complete bundle, as far as the shit that you get creatively between samplers, like sample libraries, like full on like virtual synthesizers in Reactor. Those I've used a surprising number of times, and I never thought I would. And actual processors, like their RC48, RC24 reverbs. I swear by those. Those are super freaking lush, gorgeous sounding reverbs. So I would. It is expensive, but you're also getting, and this is not exaggeration, you're getting well over a terabyte worth of sample libraries.
Yeah, it says well, it's 1,100 gigabytes, so almost. Oh no, it's just over a terabyte. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I would say definitely if you can afford it, if you do that kind of stuff, again, complete is for musicians, right? I'm not going to make any kind of bones about, well, for pot. No, complete is definitely for somebody working in a musical compositional space, because all these sample libraries that you get, they're all musical instruments, many of which I've never even heard of. So,
well, the Ultimate versus collectors, you think it's worth it to spend almost twice the amount of money to go collectors?
So no, okay. So the difference between those is mainly the Symphony series. So I used, so for example, some people might be surprised to know the strings in the single I just released recently, Sparks Fly. Those are sampled strings. Those are sampled strings. Those are using the Symphony series. They give you a dynamics knob for all the Symphony series libraries. It's a giant knob, and it's obviously automatable. And the knob will actually change while the note is being played, like what pressure the bow or how loudly they're blowing into the horn. Like I can have a French horn do a very customized crescendo by just kind of raising and lowering that dynamics knob while the note's being played. Like the coding behind the Symphony series stuff is great. Some of the stuff, it's really hard to get a believable performance, but if I can get a passable strings performance out of a thing, I'm sold. So that's the main difference. If you're not doing anything symphonic or orchestral, you're not going to get a ton of use out of the non-collector's edition, I don't think. But if it's something you're interested in, would highly recommend. It's a great library.
That's the shit I want to play with. Do I want to spend $1,000 to play with it though?
Well, and I think Native Instruments is trying to get. There's a company called East West. For anybody that kind of operates in the orchestral library space. East West has been kind of the gold standard. They're Quantum Leaps Platinum and Gold. Those have been kind of the standard for film composers for years. And I think the collector's edition, which is a pretty recent advent, I think it was around Complete 11 that had it. I think Native Instruments is trying to poach some market share from East West, and offering a very competitive offering, in my opinion. And the reason is the little backstory to the backstory. They used to team up together because East West used to be a Contact library, and then East West went and they made their own sampler, so they stopped using the licensed stuff for Native Instruments. So
does that come with Contact, by the way?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Complete comes with everything.
Okay.
It comes with the Contact factory libraries. It comes with all of the different like synth engines, FM. What the hell is it? FM8, Massive V. All of their different kind of synthesis engines and whatnot. It comes with all that stuff, plus all the sample libraries, all the processors, EQs, like SSL based EQs and stuff. Just everything. You could, again, kind of like the FabFilter thing, you could feasibly get a DAW and get Complete, some version of Complete, and have more than enough stuff to make a crap ton of money.
Yeah, I'm looking at the second tier, whatever that one is. That's the Ultimate.
Yeah, so like, ultimate. So I'm looking up here. So complete, not select. What am I, stupid? Yeah, see, the nice thing too is they have lots of versions. So depending on your budget, and it will tell you what instruments you have and what's included, what's not included. Like I've got complete start here, which is a free download right now, and it includes not a ton of stuff, but for free. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like maybe 10 things for free. That's pretty
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah. Isotope Ozone 11 comes with it. That's awesome.
Nice. Yeah.
Woodwinds vocal colors.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird tools in there. I will say that too. Native Instruments, the products in their roster are very some of them are very esoteric. You're like, when the hell am I going to use this? And then all
Like
obviously
session ukulele. Is that what you're talking about?
what?
There's one called session ukulele.
Yeah. So you can have, a hipster kind of. Usually those things. So they have a bunch of them, like session guitar player. There's a few though, like session sunburst, I think it's called. And those are phrase based. They're actually in a pinch. Like I've used them in jingles when a client's like, "Hey, can we get a little more edge to this?" And I'll be like, "All right, give me a stereo pair of guitars, just chugging some chords, and I don't even have to pick up a guitar." It's like a 10-minute job to add that to a song as opposed to a 40-minute job. So again, things that save you time are worth the money.
Yeah. And this is the fun part about that conversation where I don't make money on music. So do I
Yes,
go and
yeah.
spend
And
the
so
money?
I'm not going to say any of this stuff is necessary, but if it interests you, it's a phenomenal package of creative tools. If you're a massive kind of audio music nerd like I am, then it's a playground. Honestly, it's a sandbox that they give you for
Yeah.
that amount of money.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then they
I don't
even, to
think
make
so.
things easier, Complete actually, because it comes with thousands, hundreds of thousands of sounds, they have a kind of a main engine that glues all of the things together. So you can either load up, like for example, FM8 is one of their frequency modulated synthesizers. So you can load that up by itself, or load it up in like the Complete applet, and it sort of
Yeah.
it categorizes stuff by sound, by like what kind of instrument it is. So you can like search tags and then go through all the different patches one at a time and figure out which one you want across all of their different plugins.
That's
Um,
cool.
yeah, and they have keyboards, as you can see in some of their marketing material. They have keyboards that synchronize with their tools. It's crazy.
That's cool. All right, guys, we've been going for over an hour. What I'm going to say is there anything you guys want us to look at,
Yeah, any quick
comment on?
quick ganders, or let us know if you see anything. If you're kind of
Yeah.
following along with us here, if you see any deals you think everybody should know about, let us know and we'll check it
Yeah.
out.
Hit it in the comments too. If you're watching this after the fact, I do have some stuff in the live comments. I'm going to try to get those into the comments after this is done. But let us know if there's anything interesting or great. It's hard, right? Because whenever you get to Black Friday, being Canadians, it's really hard to access a lot of this stuff because we're not there.
Yeah, we're not in the Mecca.
But yeah, decent Good Friday, or I keep calling it Good Friday. Good
Good
God,
Friday.
man.
I've done that. That's so me.
Oh, this is killing me. You think I get more sleep now that I'm not working a day job? It's not true.
Okay,
Do
so
not.
I'm looking at Complete here for myself. So it looks like for me to upgrade my collector's edition, and so I am an owner of Complete 12, the collector's edition. I could get that for $649 as an update. Now, I'd really have to look at
It
what that
costs me less
update
than
is.
that to buy it now.
What are you talking about?
For me to get the complete 15 collector's edition, only it's $8.99. Sorry, I thought it was cheaper than that. The complete ultimate is $6.99 or
But yeah, see,
$5.99.
so I'm
Sorry.
looking at it, and for me, it says full version without the discount is so with no Black Friday discount is $23.39, and then
Yeah.
with the Black Friday discount, it's $1169.50. So it's still
Damn.
over 1,000. So I don't know where you're getting the 800 number.
Well, I've got the sale price. That's American. I'm probably looking at
Okay,
this in
yeah.
US
See,
dollars.
I'm in Canadian. Mine's already converted because I'm logged in.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that probably checks out.
Oh yeah, I've got the little flag up here. Let's see if I can do this Canada.
Yeah,
See if I
so
can get
so
some
my
Canadian
my sale.
prices.
So if you convert that to American for the update, $649. That's around $500.
Canada confirm. Come on. There we go. We're looking at $11.69 sale price for complete.
Yeah, so I get that for half of that basically.
Damn, that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. I would say though, again, what you're getting, as they say, more than 150,000 sounds. Total download size is 1.1 terabytes.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's the other thing is generally sample libraries like this, you want to put those on an SSD, ideally an NVMe thing, so you're not sitting there waiting for your sample libraries to pull into your DAW every time you load a session.
No kidding.
That said, dedicating like a 1500 gig drive, NVMe, like an Intel or something or Samsung, that could be pricey.
Let's see what Isotope's got.
Honestly, I used to love Isotope stuff. They started my bloody career, but more recently, I've kind of, other than RX and a little, even Ozone, I don't use Ozone anymore.
I'm just looking for RX, to be perfectly fair.
Yeah, RX is good. I know they've been working with some AI stuff, so I'm interested to see what the AI features that they're integrating is, because companies like Descript are kind of mopping the floor if you don't have some kind of AI integration.
RX post-production suite. What the hell is that?
That's a particular version of RX that's got the modules that are most useful for.
Yeah, that's not the one I want. I want just to find out what their standard is. Post-production suite, Elements suite, RX 11. Shop now. There we go. RX 11 Advanced is quite a bit of money off. That's $600 off. Damn.
What's the price?
I think it was $1,100. 1 second. The standard is only $323. Holy shit. That is cheap.
That's a good rate.
Advanced was $1,000. $959. That's Canadian, guys. You will definitely get it at a better price. I have my boss there, Tyler, wants me to buy this. He's like, you should get this for yourself so you can do this stuff. And I'm like, nah. I don't. There's so much of it that I'm not going to use that I struggle. Like it's not even a good purchase for me, right?
Well, yeah, it's also like, pardon me while I spend a bunch of money to sign myself up for more work. Yay.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Like I can just send it to him. He's got it. He can.
Yeah. So like with that, I'm like, no, I'm good, buddy. You.
But you can also put this on 2 computers. Like he could send me the code and I could put it on my computer.
Yeah.
Like you can put this on 2, so I could still use your account for this, dude. So just saying. That's a decent price though, if you guys, especially for the. I don't necessarily say you need RX Advanced. RX 11 though, 300. That's probably $200 US. That 250 definitely very much worth it.
Worth it, especially with the reality these days. You know, when you're working in audio and you get crap audio from somebody, because now recording on your phone has somehow become the industry standard. And so, I think RX is worth its weight in gold. I've used spectral denoise, mouth declick. Come on. So good. That alone is worth the $200.
All right, guys, don't see much happening in chat, so we're going to I wasn't even sharing the RX screen because I'm smart. We're going to pack it in for Good Friday, Black Friday, God damn it. And we will be back next week with our regular time stream. Thanks for everybody coming out. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. And again, if you got any links, hit us up down below. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.